We're live. We're live.
Touchdown!
Hey. Okay, I am not a professional. That's all I'm going to say right now. Sorry, guys. I'm going to send out a new link in a minute once Lindsay starts talking, but welcome to The Naked Truth. It is, November 29th, 2015, and I'm here with Lindsay Fly and Jen Larsen. Lindsay, okay, now talk for a while so I can go send out the link to everybody. So
Lindsay's turn. Actually, I'm just here to really introduce Jen Larsen. She is an author of Stranger Here, and we'll talk a little bit more about the full title in a second, and Future Perfect. So she's written 2 great books. And Jen is actually somebody who, when she wrote Stranger Here, and Jen, I was trying to reflect on this today about how I heard about Stranger Here, and I'm going to be honest with you, I think it was People magazine.
Really?
Yeah, because People magazine used to actually write book recommendations, like book reviews, and they don't do that anymore. I'm also no longer a subscriber to People magazine for this very reason. And because I actually used to read most of the books that I picked from People magazine. So I actually picked up your book around June or so, May or June of 2013, and read Stranger Here, and I had within I think 4 weeks or 5 weeks of finishing that book, I had my first weight loss surgery appointment with the clinic, and within 4 months after that, I'd had surgery. So
you were scared horribly and running away the other direction.
Well, no, I mean, well, there's a lot of things, but I mean, it was kind of like, I thought it was really, I had considered surgery before, but had kind of dismissed it as being really too serious, like, that's really serious, and I didn't want to do the Roux-en-Y, and so the sleeve was an option for me at the time, and so I kind of went with that, and that helped. But I just saw the struggles that you went through, and a lot of people, I think, glamorize weight loss surgery, and I thought, if she can do it, I probably can too, like, kind of thing. Does that make sense? Like,
oh yeah, absolutely. I want to kind of talk about how it's a real struggle, and you have to be prepared, and you cannot go into it the way I did, just kind of, this is easy, it's cool, it's great, like, oops.
I actually know personally people who have done that, and since my surgery, and so I appreciated the book, and it wasn't until we started our weight loss surgery, like on our Facebook group, we have a book club that we do online once a month or every other month or so, and probably the 3rd or 4th book that we read, I was kind of going through some of the books I'd read, and I read a lot of memoirs about people who are overweight, and they either overcome it, or they, like, accept it, and it's all about self-confidence. Like, I read a lot of memoirs like that, and so I suggested this, Stranger Here, as a book, and so we read it as a group, and it was during that rereading it the second time that I remembered that that's pretty much why I got surgery. Like, it really preempted the process for me, because I was pretty against surgery until I read Stranger Here, and then I read Future Perfect when, you sent it to me last month, so we'll talk about that, and loved it. So I just am a huge fan of yours. I'm a little fangirly. So
me too, and I just have to say, because I've read a lot of those books too, and yours is the only well-written one.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I hope I don't stutter too much. But yeah, so if you just want to give us a quick, introduction, whatever your elevator pitch.
What's your story in 144 characters or less?
And go.
Hi, I'm Jen Larsen. I've written 2 books. The first one was a memoir, as you guys know, called Stranger Here, How Weight Loss Surgery Transformed My Body and Messed with My Head. I always thought of it as fucked with my head.
Yeah.
Just a secret.
I hear you.
It's basically about how I got surgery. God, I guess it's 10 years ago now. Wow.
10 years? Oh, I didn't realize it was that long ago.
10 years now. Anyway, and I kind of stumbled into the idea of weight loss surgery, and I was like, oh my god, this is the coolest thing ever. Look at these before and after pictures. Everybody's so happy. And they were in a year. Oh my god, it takes a year to just get that happy. So it
doesn't take a year for everybody, just
well, see, I was just in this place where I'm like, must find way out. Here is way out.
Yeah.
So this whole fairy tale of weight loss where, the only thing wrong with you is that you're fat. The only thing you have to do is lose weight.
And then everything's perfect.
Exactly.
Obviously.
So yeah, the book is about kind of being insane and buying into that. And
Well, you're speaking to the right audience here, Jen.
Yeah, because we're all insane. So I'm like 18 months post-op, and the first year I was like, everybody talks about this mindfuck. It just isn't happening to me. Well, guess what?
Hers was delayed. Hers was delayed.
But anyway, but real quick, let's just touch base and say, how was your Thanksgiving, Lindsay?
Mine was great. It's been a great holiday weekend overall. Thanksgiving was mellow with my family. I spilt red cider on my mom's white carpet. That was winning.
Nice.
But I did really good. I had a lot of plate on my plate, if that makes sense. So eating-wise, I felt pretty good. Yeah, it was good. I got the tree, got it decorated, if you guys can see over here.
Did you have macaroni and cheese?
No. No macaroni and cheese. My mom didn't make it this year. And I was like, we don't need macaroni and cheese. Like, I eat enough of that. Like, I don't need it. So, no, she did good. It was the pies that got crazy. There was 10 of us, and there were at least 8 pies. I'm like, this is insane.
Pie per person.
Yeah.
Wait, score.
Well, and here's the thing is that everybody eats the chocolate cream pie, and there's only one chocolate cream pie, and we can't take any leftover because it's Uncle Carl's chocolate cream pie once everyone's done. So, anyway.
Okay.
It was good, though. How about you guys?
How about you, Jen? How was yours?
It was great. We just hosted our first Thanksgiving. I can't cook, but my wife can. So her mom and her grandma and one of our very close friends came, and we ate everything she cooked, and it was fantastic. I'm vegetarian now, so rocking out.
What was that?
Somebody's rocking out.
Oh no. Lindsay, shh.
I like to randomly sing along.
Okay, well, mine was fine. I do the go to Whole Foods and order everything and bring it home and pretend like you cooked it, which works really well and is very easy. But this is because last year was my first post-weight loss surgery Thanksgiving, but I was visiting my sister, so I didn't have all the leftovers, and now it's like, what the hell am I going to do with all of this food that is not going to get eaten? But anyway, before we get down and deep into the questions, I want to tell you guys 2 things. One, I think that comments forever on live Google Hangouts are gone. So if you press the little, there's like Jennifer explained it in last week's show, there's a little thing that says join the conversation. I see that VS Jenny's commented already. She says, hi, Liz and Lindsay, I'm here. So excited to hear Jen Larsen talk to us.
Yay.
So that is working. If you want to post your questions there, that's awesome. I was a little lax this week, so I didn't post a thing for questions because I feel like Lindsay and I have more than enough questions for Jen for the hour. But if you do have questions, you can put them there. And then just real quickly,
we're going to make you work for this one, Jen.
Yeah, right. We were just so excited that you said yes. I was in Portland when we asked you, and we're like, yes, you said yes.
I was amazed to be asked.
Aww.
So real quickly, let me do the community celebrations. Every week we try to recognize what's going on with people in the community. So VS Jenny, who's here and posted on the Q&A board, lost 250 pounds this week.
That's fantastic.
And she also is now under 350 pounds, which was a big milestone for her. So that's awesome. And in case nobody's heard, Christina Rangel had surgery last week.
I missed that memo.
I missed that, but she's doing great.
Good.
He ended up, she was...
I was kidding, obviously.
We're just teasing Christina.
I like the countdown, though. I appreciate the countdown.
I like the countdown, too. Yeah. I mean, and she had to, her doctor told her she had to lose X amount of weight, and then she went back and she lost that amount, and they said, no, you need to lose this amount of weight. So, it was a struggle. And I think the plan was for her to get RMY, but when they went in, they couldn't do that, and so they did VSG. But VSG is good. It works. Amy gets a VSG. I just have to shout her out because, number one, she ran like 100 miles today in the rain, which is, like, insane.
Yeah. And
also because I texted her the other night and said, I'm getting ready to make a bad decision. Can you help me out? And she called me from Alabama immediately. So she deserves a shout out for that. And Drea VSG hit Wonderland, which is awesome.
She is, by the way, I have to give her an extra kudos because she works her ass off. I see her.
She works out twice one day this week.
Yeah, she's killing it.
Yeah. And Marika on the Move, well, she has a different name now, but her name used to be Marika on the Move. I met her in Portland when I went to visit Lindsay. She lost 5 pounds over the holiday weekend.
That is just rude. I mean, congratulations, yeah, right. But also not cool. For me, very cool for you.
Don't be showing everybody up. First, I'm like, okay, Drea is in Wonderland, and you and I have both been in Wonderland, but are we there now?
Let's not talk about that. Okay. This is positive feedback today.
And the other one is Patty, my BFF, Patty. Watch Patty Melt is getting her plastic surgery on Tuesday. So really excited for her. She's already so gorgeous I can't go anywhere with her, so I don't know what's
also
like going to happen now. I know, it's so rude. How can she be so gorgeous?
So rude.
Anyway, okay, those are our community celebrations. So Lindsay, I'll turn it over to you and we can actually start talking to Jen now.
All right, Jen, here we go. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, so I've got a three-parter. Let's start at the beginning.
Very
Tell
good.
me your entire story. No, I guess your story around weight. And I'm curious if you were overweight as a child, or did it kind of come later as an adult or young adult? And if you were overweight as a child, did your family try to manage that? What did that look like, and how was your experience with that?
Actually, my mom just mailed me this whole little envelope of photos, and I was a pretty chubby little kid, and it's me and like this other group of girls, and I'm kind of like round and soft, and the girls are kind of, you know, like you see a lot of kids just beanpoles, and but I don't remember noticing it really until I was kind of, I don't know, probably a couple of years older, and I remember my father saying stuff like, you know, just butter one side of the toast and then press it on.
Yeah, that's gonna do it.
You know, so I remember like little things like my parents kind of, you know, kind of pushing me into maybe you don't want to eat that, but I didn't really think about my body until I hit puberty, and then suddenly, you know, I'm getting boobs and hips and a butt, and I'm still kind of chubby, and my mother took me to Weight Watchers, and yeah, so I went to Weight Watchers like all through high school. I went to, oh gosh, what is that shit called? Nutrisystem.
Mm-hmm.
That was some good food, man, let me tell you.
Reconstituted hamburgers. Do you remember
so gross.
Fucking hamburgers. And
I went to Nutrisystems when I weighed 190 pounds.
Yeah, I don't think I was that fat. I think I was like, I was a size that I would have killed to have been when I was in my 20s. And I'm sitting there eating fucking reconstituted hamburgers.
So did that make you feel really insecure? Like, did you have a conversation with your parents? Like, what are we doing here? Or like...
No, I just kind of accepted it. I just, you know, oh, okay, that's what I need to do. And I was a weird kid and pretty isolated, and I kind of isolated myself more because, you know, I don't look like these people, and I don't want to put myself in danger, basically.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in New York, and I spent my teen years in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Like rural Pennsylvania, 7 miles to the grocery store, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I was pretty isolated. I didn't have a lot of friends because I was basically afraid of, you know, someone hurting me. So, yeah, weight was not. I didn't think about it consciously. I never remember like feeling. I don't know. It wasn't a very literal thing to me, but I remember feeling like I wasn't right.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
Well, yeah, and especially if in high school you're going through Weight Watchers, you're being told you weren't right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
So I did have these fantasies about, you know, magical ways to lose weight. Like
right. The magic pill. So how old were you when you were pretty young when you decided to get weight loss surgery, right?
I was.
Because you're only 25 now, and that was 10 years ago, right?
Just a baby, yeah. I was 4 or 5 when I got weight loss surgery. No, how old was I? I was a little older than 30. 30, yeah, I guess I was about 30.
Mm-hmm.
And so when did you start to put on more and more weight?
It was kind of when I was finishing up grad school. I was in the final stages of doing my thesis, and I was pretty miserable in my relationship, and I was just, I just stopped caring, and I just sort of tried to eat myself into, like, how big can I get? How huge can I get? Because I don't give a shit.
Right. And it's the only thing that's making, or for me, it was the only thing that was making me feel okay.
Yeah, a Kit Kat is basically, happiness in a little plastic.
Mm-hmm. It's crunchy happiness.
Crunchy chocolate-covered happiness.
I get that.
Yeah.
So what, other than Nutrisystem and Weight Watchers, were there any other extreme things that you tried to do to lose weight before having weight loss surgery?
Yes, I did OptiFast. Do you remember OptiFast?
I did
OptiFast is still around.
It is. I did it right before surgery. Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
I went to a nutritionist. I was seeing a nutritionist when I first read your book, Jen, and she was having me do OptiFast for 2 meals a day. I mean, it wasn't like a full liquid diet, but it was as at least a couple meal replacements.
God.
And that was just 2 years, just 2 years ago.
I had no idea it was still around.
Mm-hmm.
It was, like,
totally
super easy to me. I was like, oh my God, all you do is like shakes and you get skinny. That's awesome.
Yeah. Did you go through phases where you'd lose a bunch of weight and then gain it back, or was it always just like you'd lose a little and kind of give up, or?
I think I only managed to lose a significant amount of weight once. It was usually like I'd lose 10 pounds and I wouldn't see a difference, and I'd get fed up with, not being able to have chocolate or not being able to do whatever I want. I thought it was so unfair that I could not eat whatever I wanted and sit on my butt and not lose weight. I didn't understand why, I'd look at skinny people and go, why they can eat whatever they want, why can't I? And it just pissed me off.
I want to come back to that later. Can we come back to that later, Liz?
Sure.
Okay. Note that.
Interesting.
I will note that. You can go to it now if you want.
Okay, I do, actually.
Okay, why don't you go to it now, because otherwise we'll forget.
Okay, as a follow-up question, I think a lot of my anger post-surgery is the same. I tried to lose weight, eating really well and working out, and I couldn't. And so I had had weight loss surgery, lost a bunch of weight, and then, I'm the sort of person now, and I've never reached my, weight goal. And I'm up and down still, and I'm almost 2 years out, and a lot of my anger and resentment comes from that exact thing. I'm not a normal person. I can work out 6 hours a week and look at a fucking donut and gain 5 pounds. I don't even have to eat it. It's probably the peanut M&Ms that probably don't help, but still, I feel like it's just the looking at the donut. And so do you still feel that way today? Obviously you're probably, actually I don't know this, I'm assuming though that you're somewhat more active and that you do make some conscious decisions about what you put in your body, but do you still have some feelings about that? I'm still angry that I can't sit on my butt and eat what I want, and Yeah,
the surgery I got is pretty extreme. No matter what you do, you're gonna lose a shit ton of weight. So I had a really long period of eating what I want and still losing weight. Eating what I want.
Yeah, that's what, if I would have read your book before I had weight loss surgery, I would have had the DS for sure.
I don't know. The side.
Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, well, let's go back to that. So what led you to the decision to have weight loss surgery, and how did you choose the DS?
I don't even remember. I was super obsessed with weight loss journals at the time. They were on Blogger back in
the day.
Back in my day. WordPress crap. And I was just, clicking through links, and somebody posted about how they were getting super, they were trying to get on The Biggest Loser, which is dangerous and horrific, but that was their level of desperation.
And we have somebody who's going to be on in a few weeks who actually was on The Biggest Loser and then had weight loss surgery and lost her weight.
I am really interested to see that. Yeah, The Biggest Loser is so dangerous.
It's a nightmare. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's horrific and fat shaming, and anyway.
Yeah.
So she was at that level of desperation where she was trying to get onto the Biggest Loser, and she's like, oh my God, weight loss surgery. And weight loss surgery for me was Carney Wilson and Al Roker pooping a lot. I don't know. You hear these stories about
sharding. Yeah.
Yes, sharding. Yeah, he told
Never a good thing.
And you know, Carney Wilson getting it and then immediately
Gaining
getting
your weight
on
back.
hormones again, and just
Yeah.
like weight loss surgery. What? And this woman posts the link to the duodenal. You know, I still don't know how to pronounce it. Duodenal.
Duodenal? I don't know.
Duodenal.
Somebody will correct us.
Duodenal.
Duodenal. Duodenum.
Yeah, that one. The DS.
Yeah. But how much did you weigh when you went to get? Because I was sort of surprised that you had DS and that they let you have DS.
Back in my day. I'm saying that now, but at the time, it was. I mean, I just kind of glided right through. They're just like, oh yeah, sure, yeah, go.
But it was private pay, right? It wasn't through insurance. I mean, you paid for it.
I
Right?
paid on 2 credit cards, in fact. I'm a genius.
Yeah. But so what was your highest weight?
My highest weight was like 318, I think, is what they recorded me at. I think I was heavier when I actually went in for the surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, you could stand to lose a couple pounds.
You're like, I'm never gonna be able to eat again. I'm gonna eat everything I want. What?
I'm gonna eat the fucking world.
Mm-hmm.
Have you watched? I don't know if you like watch YouTube videos in the weight loss surgery community, but there's someone who had. There's not a lot of DS patients who make videos, but one of them is her YouTube name is Pinkfish Lily. I'll send you like a link to her thing. But it's like the things she can eat post DS. It's like, damn, if I would have known that, I would have definitely had that surgery.
It's pretty great. Yeah, at the time it was pretty great, but you know, I haven't quite learned much about, even as far out as I am, I still struggle. Like at this point I am older, so I'm more prone to gaining weight. And I'm far enough out that it's not working quite the same. So I've gained more weight than I'm kind of comfortable with, and this is kind of new for me. And now I'm like, I have to figure out healthy. What? I can't. What? So I'm back at that kind of, what is this shit? Why am I not? Why aren't I fixed? This was supposed to fix me.
Yeah.
Why aren't I fixed? And the funny thing is, skinny people supposedly look at fat people and say, oh my god, they're eating hams and putting their faces in pies.
Sometimes.
But you know, they spend their time with 2 hams on the bone and they're sharing chocolate cake and those people can eat whatever they want. And we're over here going, no, we're trying to diet, and
I haven't eaten sugar in 4 years, kind of thing. Yeah.
Wait, I was just sort of FaceTiming with you the other day when you were eating peanut M&Ms.
Me? I was being sarcastic. I love peanut M&Ms. I was just saying, people have this image of us of chewing the meat off the bone when really we're measuring every fucking ounce. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my god. Stop.
Yeah. And like timing our exercise and calculating the calories and saying, oh no, I put a teaspoon of sugar in my tea because what the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so intensely frustrating. And yeah.
So Jen, now that you've had weight loss surgery, I mean, if you were like get back to basics and buckle down and do all those things, I mean, do the pounds come off a little bit better now that you've had weight loss surgery? Do you feel like you have to work just as hard as you did like when you were in high school?
I think it would probably be easier. I know when I'm more, I've had some back and hip issues. I know when I'm more active, I don't gain the way I used to. I don't, you know, I don't keep going up when I'm active. I stay at a comfortable weight, which is
well, you
nice.
look great.
Thank you. And you guys look gorgeous and amazing. And
I'm naked, but that's because I'm
and you're
also, Liz, your shirt is flesh colored too. So I mean, you really do look naked.
I'm a little turned on right now.
It's the naked truth, Jen. It's the naked truth.
No. Yes, right?
Okay, let's get back to our questions because it's already 5:30.
Sorry.
Elizabeth, it's on you.
Okay. No, it's actually on you, isn't it? About the memoir.
Well, I'm just curious about why you chose the DS.
Oh yeah, why did you choose the DS?
Versus, you know, I'm sure they were doing gastric bypass at the time and laughing.
They probably weren't doing DSG back then, right?
No,
it was 10 years ago.
It was pretty new. It was like an untested thing, but they were super excited about it. I was like, nope, I want the DS. I wanted the most extreme. Like I wanted to say "fuck you, fat" and get as skinny as possible. So I went extreme. I mean, my whole kind of decision-making process was, let's get the hell out of here. I'm done.
And you did it. I mean, it was pretty fast, right? From when you made the decision to when you had the surgery was like what period of time?
Yeah, it was just a few months. It wasn't long at all.
Yeah, it was really quick.
Yeah, they kind of slid me through it. The psych eval.
Yeah, you guys need to read her book. I'm going to post it in the link below because it's really great and it's very well written. And
and let's talk about that for a second.
You had the DS too.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I hear dumping. I have dumping like that sometimes too. You know, when I eat an entire packet of chicken cutlets, it happens.
It's not pretty.
Do you dump?
Dumping I think is different. I have.
Yeah.
Wow, why am I so nervous about talking about it? It's a weight loss.
We all get it.
I crap enormous piles. How's that?
Yeah, no, that happens. I get it.
That does not happen to me, but
yeah, it's terrible.
But maybe you're on the other end, Liz, where you don't poop at all. I mean, you know.
Right, that's the end I'm on. I haven't pooped in a year and a half.
So let's just touch on your memoir real quick, Jen. So again, Stranger Here: How Weight Loss Surgery Transformed My Body and Messed with My Head. How did you kind of decide to document your journey in this format?
Well, I had been writing a blogger blog on kind of getting the surgery, and it was anonymous at the time, actually. And somebody from Self Magazine was starting this new website for women about body. It was Elastic Waist. It lasted not very long, but I was doing a column for them, basically, and every day I'd be writing about weight loss surgery and body image issues, and the feedback I was getting was just extraordinary. Like, people were like, "Oh my God, you're inside my head. This is all the shit I've been worrying about." And I was talking really honestly about everything, how I was screwing up, how I was terrified and exhilarated and miserable, and people were just like, I wish I had, read this before. And after the site ended, I thought I should write like a book. I should write like a book about this and see if I can reach people, and because I felt so alone and so completely just isolated and sad for so long, and I thought, if I can't reach people on a blog anymore, I can write a book and maybe that will help some people. And I'm kind of amazed at how far the book has reached.
Well, it was really interesting to me reading your book and you talking about your relationship with your friend, your friends like from before, and it just made me so grateful for this community that we have now, that I think, there's just, I mean, really, when you look at all the number of people who have weight loss surgery, there's just a handful of people involved. Yeah. But it makes such a huge difference to have other people who are experiencing the same things.
Mm-hmm. I was a little scared away by the weight loss communities that I had originally kind of found. I think I write about it a little bit. They were just very, I don't know, they were just very all or nothing, they were invested in being weight loss surgery patients. Yeah. And I just wanted to get in and get out. Mm. And I would have liked some of that community, but I found out, and I never kind of got involved, and I found out, like, occasionally somebody would contact me and say, "Wow, those weight loss surgery forums hate you." I'm like,
well, the forums I think are, I mean, I shouldn't, but I mean, I think the forums and the Facebook groups are kind of crazy.
But again, that's how I started getting it. I mean, for me personally, it was the entire appendix that got me into the community, because I mean, it's kind of like you start at the Sassy Sleevers and you progress into the does that make sense? Like, that's where all the
it does. Go. I mean, like, I unsubscribed from all of those groups because it made me so crazy to hear what they said. But I think with YouTube it's different because you're experiencing real people with vlogs.
Well, I think Sassy Sleevers are
just people saying, "Oh my God, I only lost 30 pounds my first month. Is that normal?"
Would it be normal for me to punch you in the face?
The answer is yes.
If groups like this had been around, I might not have felt so insane.
Yeah. So how far out from surgery, Jen, were you when you actually wrote the book?
Like 5 years-ish.
How public were you, other than your anonymous blog, how public were you about your weight loss surgery pre-book?
All my friends knew. It took me a while to confess to my mother.
Yes.
For whatever reason. I was just, it felt very fraught to me, and she was just like, yeah, I know. What? She's like, yeah, you had weight loss surgery books on your wish list on Amazon?
Oh, you look at that.
Damn it. And I thought I was being so discreet.
I know. But yeah, I was pretty open and out, and kind of like I was expecting cookies. I don't know, like, good job, you're doing something about that normal now. You know?
But I actually, have been very out about it, but I started to write as well, and then I didn't get very far into it before I thought, you know what, I can't throw all these people under the bus.
You know, if they didn't want to be written about, they should have been nicer to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Fact.
a good perspective. So
Yeah.
how much weight did you lose total?
I think at my lowest it was about 180 pounds.
Wow, Jen.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
So how did you, the like tagline of, how weight loss surgery transformed my body. How did you feel about your body as it was transforming? Because it's smaller, but it's different.
Yeah, the skin issues, and
Yeah.
I was kind of fascinated by it. Like, I'm losing this weight, and like pieces of me are emerging. Like, I remember lying in bed once, and I'm like, oh my god, what's this lump? What's this lump? And my boyfriend's like, what? I'm like, I have cancer, and he's like, yeah, that's your hip bone.
That's a hip bone. Yeah, that's not cancer.
So that was amazing to me. And I got kind of super fascinated in a weird way. Like, I got really skinny. I got too skinny. I was like a size 2, and yeah, but no, I was like fucking skeletal. Like I was all skin and bones, and my ribs, and it was horrific. It's horrible. You look at pictures and you're like, whoa, honey, you do not look well. And I remember being so angry that I couldn't get to a size 0. That's
wow.
fucked
What
up.
are you? If you don't mind me asking, what size are you now? Because you look perfect now.
Oh,
A what?
An 8.
An 8. Okay, yeah. So you look perfect. That's what I just, because I've lost 200 pounds.
Wow, that's amazing.
About.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's not a number for me because I work out a lot. It's a size.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm going for, is an 8.
Yeah, it's a great size. 8 is normal. But as I was kind of gaining, like, I was a 2, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so skinny. Yeah, it was gross. I was thrilled.
Did you know that at the time?
What?
That it was gross.
That you thought, like, at the time when you could see your ribs and you were a size 2, and were you like furious that you couldn't get to a 0, but also like, is this really good for me? Like, you know what I'm saying?
No, it was very mixed up for me. I'm like, this is gross. I can see my ribs. My boobs are flaps of skin. But if I put on clothes, nobody can tell. I'm calling all that shit out. Look, I'm perfect when I'm naked, right? You love me, right? But I knew it was not okay. I knew that this was not healthy, and I didn't look good, and but I still freaked out when I started gaining weight. And like, this is not okay, and I started panicking that I was going to be 300 pounds again, which is, I didn't learn anything. I learned nothing on either side of the scale.
Did you have any, because that's sort of, when I was reading your book, I was like, wow, did she have any like ongoing education about what you were supposed to do? Did they just like they did it and then you were gone?
Yep, they were like, good luck.
Yeah,
yeah, and I didn't have community. I didn't. Yeah.
But you must have learned something, because you're 10 years out, and a lot of people that have had like weight loss surgery do regain their weight, and you haven't. So even if you are size 10 and a little more than you want to be, like, do you feel
She's a size 8.
I'm sorry. Like 10 is my magic
I'm
number.
a size 10. That was
projecting.
the jeans that I tried on.
Yeah, shut up, Liz, braggart. I'm projecting. Sorry, that's my ideal number. But like, so you put some weight back on, and then there's that fear of getting too small and getting too big, but you haven't. So, I mean, do you feel like you have learned how to balance some of that, or is it still that kind of that constant struggle?
It's kind of background noise. It's always background noise. Um, I'm always worried I'll put my pants on and they don't fit. I'm always worried that, what am I eating and do I need to eat more or less or what am I doing? And some of the weight I've put on recently, I was a size 4 or 6 for like 3 or 4 years, and I was like, oh, here I am. This is a great size. I'm normal and, hot. And then I'm up to an 8, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm becoming a huge monster. And I don't want to keep thinking about it. I want to just be comfortable, and so frustrating. I'm scared I'll never feel comfortable. 10 years out, I still don't feel comfortable.
So I guess that kind of dives into my next question, which I think we've already kind of talked about a little bit, which is that, Liz addressed how it transformed my body, and now moving into the mess with my head part. Kind of, I guess, as we continue to talk about how the mindfuck, what that's like for you. So you always have the background noise. I mean, is there other like things of deprivation? I mean, whatever. Like, how does that? Is it just always there, or is it always kind of? I don't know. I don't really know what the question is.
What was your mindfuck? I mean, I think it's kind of different for everybody.
For me, it was losing 180 pounds and getting down to a size 2 and still hating my body.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that wasn't the deal. The deal is I lose all that weight and I'm happy. You told me I'm skinny.
And particularly, you were pretty young. You weren't like almost 50 like me.
I was 30-something, middle-aged. I that was so fucked up to me. That felt so unfair, and still not being happy in my body, and still kind of realizing that I wasn't just unhappy in my body. There was so much other shit going on in my head that now I had to face. It's like, okay, I'm skinny, and now I have to deal with my relationship, and I have to deal with being unhappy in my job, and I have to deal with being a shitty friend and anxiety and depression and all of it.
It's like for me, it's like everything was focused on this is fucked up because I'm fat.
Yeah, exactly.
And then when you're not and stuff is still a little bit fucked up and not everything is perfect, it's like, maybe it wasn't all about that. Interesting.
Exactly.
So
we have a flooded basement, and you get all the water out, and you're like, oh, look at the damage.
Yeah.
Right. Beingness for all these years. So
foundation. Yeah.
Somebody messaged me a comment. Brooke James, who is RNY for me, says, watching my favorite host, love you both, loving Liz's glasses and sexy shirt.
Oh, wow. Of course. Because she's naked.
I'm naked. Good job Christmas tree decorating, Lindsay.
Welcome.
So let's talk about your relationship that you were in at the time you had weight loss surgery. Because that was like
one question I get. Oh my God, do you know?
But oh my God, it was so painful for me to read that because I was in that relationship, and it was like that fear of like not, messing with the apple cart. So talk about that for the people who haven't read the book.
I was in a relationship, a long-term relationship. Actually, we got together when I was heavy-ish, and I was so anxious about our relationship and so weird about it. I ended up losing something like 60 pounds without trying.
Wow.
That's always good.
No, it was awful. It was horrible, but of course I was thrilled that, I was the size, 12. I was shopping in Old Navy, and this is before they had plus sizes in the store. Back in my day.
They don't have plus sizes in the store anymore. Only mail order.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you can't buy plus size in the store.
Are you effing kidding me? That's okay. Off topic, but that's ridiculous.
Anyway, let's get back to Jen's relationship with the guy.
Yeah, it's bullshit. So this is before they put the plus sizes in, and after they took the plus sizes out. No, wait, and before that. Anyway, so I lost a lot of weight. With him, and then I started gaining the weight, and he was just sticking by me. He's just, we're together and we're in this relationship, but he was just still very uncommittal about our future and about our lives together, and he didn't want to move in together, and he was just very his own kind of.
Did you live together in the book or no?
Mm-mm.
No.
No.
Okay.
I'd be like, hey, what's going on? We've been together 3 years. He's like, I love ya. I'm like, great.
Because at the time after you had weight loss surgery and you were going through this process with him, like he was super there and super supportive, but it almost seemed very platonic as the reader.
Yeah.
Yeah. We stopped having sex like, I don't know, a couple months after we started dating. 3 or 4 months after we started dating. At first, he's like,
you guys were together 3, 4, 5 years, right? A long time?
almost 5 years, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh my God, he loves me. He loved me when I was skinny. He loves me now that I'm fat. He loves me now that I'm skinny again. He nursed me through surgery. I can't possibly break up with this guy because he loves me, and I don't deserve anything better than that.
But so, I don't know how to say this without being... Okay, go ahead, Lindsay.
No, go ahead, Liz.
Well, I was just going to say, because I'm sort of experiencing this now, and that's probably what I shouldn't say, but that difference between going from this, like, platonic, you know, but supposedly romantic relationship into something where you're actually feeling sexual and really engaging. What was that like for you? Because you wrote a little bit about that in the book.
I did.
And then obviously a few things have changed. A couple things.
Change. I was in this relationship and feeling very kind of trapped and obligated, and I meet this guy who, this very platonic, he doesn't want to have sex with me, he doesn't find me sexy, but he loves me. Meet this guy who very aggressively is like, you are the most gorgeous creature I've ever seen in my life, and like pursuing me in a way that I have never, ever in my life experienced. That kind of, he's gorgeous and charismatic and funny, and everybody like in our group of friends was like, oh my God, he's so amazing, and he's pursuing me. And
isn't that awesome though, sort of a little bit?
It was, yeah. I mean, I fucked up. I did not make the right choice, but it was
awesome.
really good. It felt incredible, and I forgive myself for falling for it because he was gorgeous and it was amazing. And the difference was extraordinary. I was like, I deserve that. I deserve that kind of passion and adoration.
Mm-hmm.
I deserve amazing sex.
And that shift is so interesting when you've gone all this time thinking it's just like, it's whoever picks me, I have to take what little things that they give me, versus I deserve this great relationship where people, cherish you and adore you and like you and
think you're glorious and like a glorious golden goddess. And it was just extraordinary to me. And I wasn't even like at my skinniest. I was still in the teens, I think, and he's telling me I'm just the hottest thing ever, and of course I'm gonna lose my I've never experienced that ever, even at any point in my life. I had never been pursued.
And you were still with your boy. I mean, that was, you went on a trip out of town, right? And that happened, and you were still with your boyfriend.
Liz. To Chicago.
Oh, to Chicago. My 50th birthday is going to be in Chicago. Jen, you can come in March. We would love to have you. You're close.
Yeah, I'm like,
oh my God, would you come to my 50th birthday party?
I'll be there.
Hey, I'm coming. Oh my God. Oh, I'm so excited.
I will send you the link.
Yes, please. I'm delighted. Thank you.
Okay, anyway.
It was in Chicago, city of magic and illicit sex.
And wind, I've heard.
And wind. Yes. Oh, yeah, wind. I had been out of town. I was living in San Francisco. I go to town to meet these people, and I get swept off my feet. And I'm like, this is crazy. Maybe I deserve this. And I went home and had to kind of figure out that relationship in my real life and what I actually wanted and deserved.
And so I don't remember, because I read your memoir a while ago.
Mm-hmm.
You broke up with him after that, with your boyfriend?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
And if I remember correctly, because I was IMing you for a while we were having the book club, while we were doing that, we were like, whatever happened to so-and-so? Whatever happened to Bob from Chicago?
You were our first person. I mean, we've done it with a few people since, but you were our first person who was like actually answering our questions for your book club.
And you said you moved and dated him for a while.
Yeah. Actually, the two biggest search results for my website to this day are Andy Gay. That's my the platonic relationship, and Ben-Jen relationship. Ben-Jen dating.
Mm-hmm. They're like, what happened?
So yeah, he and I dated long distance for a while, Ben and I, and then I ended up moving to Utah for 5 years about, because I had this gig writing the column for the website, and you can afford to actually, exactly. Instead of San Francisco, where a full-time job plus freelancing is barely
doesn't pay for rent. So now I'm just gonna like cut to the chase a little bit, but how did you end up with a wife?
No, I'm bisexual. I just happen to be in long-term relationships with dudes, like kind of one after the other.
Had you been in a relationship with a woman before you had weight loss surgery?
Yeah.
Okay.
Never anything super long-term. And yeah, she actually, I was seeing a friend of hers, her best friend, and he gave her my memoir, and she's like,
seeing as in dating her best friend?
Ish, yeah, her best friend, and he gave her my memoir, and she's like, oh, this person is interesting and maybe a little crazy, and you shouldn't date her. She seems like a little crazy.
But I'll marry her. Yeah, but I'll marry her.
Maybe you don't want to do this. And she met me in real life. She's like, oh yeah, she's okay. And we.
Aww.
That's so sweet. And you just got married a few months ago, right?
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It was beautiful. I love the pictures on Facebook.
Thank you so much. We're gonna be in Our Lives magazine. Our wedding.
Oh, cool.
Oh, how awesome.
Very cool. So yeah.
So is it okay if I jump ahead a little bit, because I want to
let's jump ahead. Let's talk about Future Perfect a little bit. Yeah, because I love that.
We had a couple more questions on the other, just in general, but I know we're running close on time. Yeah. So I read Future Perfect, and I really loved it, and I had a hard time putting it down, and I read it pretty quickly, and I felt it was pretty rare to see a girl main character in the book that's like super heavy, athletic, popular, has friends, and really doesn't have any insecurities about her body. Like I didn't get that from a reading perspective. Like she didn't want to do all these things that her grandmother wanted her to do because she actually didn't find that she had a problem, which I think is really uncommon, especially considering that her mom wasn't around, and like she's getting these messages from her grandmother the whole time that like you're not okay. And so, and then the question is so I guess tell me a little bit about her and your ideas for who she was and who she was becoming, and how you kind of thought of that character. And do you relate to her,
Well, she's basically... I remember when my memoir came out and I was doing a reading and somebody asked me what I was writing, and I said, well, I'm writing this book about a teenager who's doing perfectly fine with being fat. She's happy and she thinks she's beautiful. And the person who asked the question is like, oh, is it you? I'm like,
clearly not. I mean,
I realized in the moment, I said,
I'm just saying.
No, it's cool. Did you not read the That's cool.
Clearly not. Okay.
Thanks for coming. I actually realized in that moment, no, she's the person I wish I had been.
Yeah, that's what I thought when I read it.
Yeah, she's the incredibly brave, powerful, interesting.
I think she's the person all of us wish we would have been.
Yeah. I've met teenage girls who are just that kind of cool and okay and, really super confident in themselves, but I also wanted to write about what it's like to be bombarded by, her grandma and people who think that she doesn't look the way she should, and how, she kind of wavers in her confidence because she's getting all these messages, and she's like, I feel okay, but maybe I'm not, because people I love are telling me that
I'm not.
Exactly, and how incredibly hard it is, no matter how brave you are, to kind of stay true to yourself.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to give away all the book, but my stomach just dropped when she got that note on her birthday.
Oh, I knew it was coming.
I mean, it was just like, was there someone like that in your life who was doing that with you?
Yeah, my mom would occasionally be like, "Hey, if you lose 20 pounds this month, we'll go shopping," and like it was never quite that, vicious and
Yeah.
laser focused. But I have had friends who have had that kind of.
Yeah, I remember once my dad said, "I will give you a trip to Hawaii."
Yeah.
I mean, like now that would mean something to me. When I was like 13, who gives a fuck about Hawaii? You know, a Kit Kat is like much better. But my sister, who was always thin, still says, "I can't believe you didn't lose the weight to go to Hawaii."
Because
you're thin.
Yeah.
Exactly. I love how people think, like telling you you're fat, it makes you go, "Oh,
no way! I had no idea.
Holy shit!"
But I don't know. Nobody ever talked about me being fat, really.
Really?
It was like the secret. I mean, when I was a kid, they would say things like that, but as an adult, it was like the thing you like sort of tiptoe around and you don't want to talk about.
Or it was, "Oh, but you're so beautiful."
Oh, you have such a pretty face.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
I never really heard it that way. I never really
face.
heard that as much, but yeah.
You never heard you had a pretty face? You have
Well, no, it was I don't see that about you. You're so beautiful. Like even my best friend to this day, she goes, "I see pictures of you and I think, wow, like I had no idea." Like they didn't see that about me.
And I've seen that since I've lost weight too. It's like I did not realize you were that big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But so what motivated you to write this book and tell this story?
It was the responses I had gotten from the blog and the emails I had gotten, and people saying I thought I was alone, and I'm not alone, and I wanted to kind of reach out to as many people as I could and say, "Hey, you're not alone. This is totally okay." And I've gotten such amazing kind of.
Well, it's such a great story, and I think when you put both of them together.
It's superb.
I mean, it's really amazing. And so we're going to post the links to both of them below, and we're almost at 6
Ask her your last questions, and then I can ask her your last one question, because I want to know the answer, and then I'll do the weight loss surgery questions.
So, knowing what you know today, would you still have had weight loss surgery?
I would have done it smarter, I think. I wouldn't, basically my idiocy is very detailed in the book. I would have not rushed into it. I would have thought about it more clearly. I would have gotten psychological help. I would have gotten therapy. I would have gone to counseling. I might not have made the decision in the end if I had made it carefully, and I don't know. I would have liked to have just stopped myself and said, "Go talk to a therapist. Go figure out what your issues are. You have
Take a minute.
Yeah, breathe and decide if this is really what you want."
That is a very thoughtful response. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it really is. And it seemed like in reading your book, it's like, hey, she needed more things along the way.
Yeah.
To get from A to Z. And I feel, even though I hated it at the time, I had my surgery through Kaiser, and they make you do like all kinds of fucking shit beforehand. And I hated it at the time, but in retrospect, I'm really grateful for it because it gave me time to get used to the idea of what was going to happen next.
Right. And you guys you have your head screwed on straight. I mean, you know what you're doing. You understand what you've gone through. You've understood more so than most people, I think.
But that's about YouTube, and I really want to say, I mean, that really is about the connections that are made through YouTube and watching, being able to every day. I mean, I still, 18 months out, I watch videos every day because I need to connect with people who are going through the same thing that I'm going through. And in your regular life, you're never going to see that.
Yeah, exactly.
Jen.
Hi.
I would like to ask you a series of weight loss surgery questions that really don't have much to do at all with weight loss surgery. Are you ready? It's almost like free association, but it's not like I'm going to say a word, you say a word. But it's just going to say, I'm asking a question, you say a word. Okay. What's your favorite word?
What's my favorite word?
Yeah.
Corpulescent.
What?
I wasn't used
to made something up.
What was that word?
Corpulescent.
Is that a real word?
Is that like a color, like a luminescent
purple,
kind of?
fluorescent?
Round and full. Corpulescent.
I love
nice.
that. I might have to change. What's your least favorite word?
I think I'm supposed to say moist.
Oh!
It doesn't bother me that much, though.
I love you.
Doesn't bother me. What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
People, I think. Talking to people, talking to good people and laughing and having really interesting conversations. And getting
What
out.
turns you...
Sorry. Hi.
Love it. No, it's okay. I love it. What turns you off?
Ignorance and sadness.
Aw. What's your favorite curse word?
Fuck. It would be
Yes.
Anglo-Saxon fuck.
Go fuck.
What sound or noise do you love?
My dog snoring.
Aw. What sound or noise do you hate or dislike? I don't like to use the word hate, but...
The sirens. Anything loud and repetitive and...
If you could be anything other than a writer, what would you want to be?
A visual artist, for sure. I can't do anything with my hands.
Cool. What profession would you not like to do?
Accountant?
Yes.
Very sad.
Like, yes, also.
I'd be very sad.
If there is a great, big, pearly gate, if there's heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Hey, go get a cocktail.
Yeah! Party on. Those are all my questions for you, Jen.
Well, we are so grateful that you were here with us.
I'm so glad you asked me. This was
It was so fun. And I really hope you will come to my birthday, because how far is that from Madison?
A couple hours.
It's
also,
like
we're staying at the Embassy Suites, and they have free happy hour.
Free happy
and
hour.
breakfast.
I'm on it!
And we only need like one meal a day.
All I need. Oh my god.
It's the weekend before St. Patrick's Day.
Okay.
I'll send you the stuff. I really hope you will come and we can meet you in person.
I would love to meet you guys in person.
We're really crazy though, like not crazy like this necessarily, but crazy like fun.
Oh no. See, I'm very done creatively right now. So.
Yeah, see?
So who's the before I promote the next couple week shows, who's the baby in the picture behind you? Because he's super cute.
Oh, that's my baby! Oh my god.
He's so cute. I've been looking at him the whole
I have
time.
to give you a
He's
little...
my little nephew.
Oh, what's his name? He's adorable.
He's Oliver. He's gonna be 3 years old in December. Oh my gosh, so soon.
And is that Leonard Nimoy with flowers in his hair?
It is. It is Leonard Nimoy. Flowers.
I was gonna say I love it's kind of a take on Frida, right? A little bit.
Exactly.
And also the baby Groot, because I love baby Groot.
Oh, Dancing Groot and also
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Rocky Raccoon.
Yeah. Oh, love that. Dancing baby Groot. Yeah.
Very
Yep.
cool. Okay,
Right.
so we're everybody.
Now that we're done visually stalking you.
And let's see the title of that book behind you.
Yeah.
Here's a picture of my wife and
So what was I gonna say?
Promoting the next 2 weeks.
Promoting the next 2 week shows. Guess who we're gonna have on next week?
Ooh.
I'm so sad.
I'm
Waffles.
so sad that you're not doing it with me. The Waffles. So Sarah and Chris Waffle are going to be on next week. I'm very excited. And Scott's going to be my co-host. So if you guys have questions for them, send
In my
them
defense,
over.
I actually really tried to get that show, but Gastrotiger was like, no.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's fair. It's fair. It's okay.
Fine.
I gave it to him. No, I'm just
You
kidding.
went wine tasting with all of us, so that was
Yeah.
more fun than doing the show. And then on December 13th, Lindsay's going to be back without me, and I'm very sad.
Aw.
Because I'm not going to be here. I'm going to be in Las Vegas. And
That's not very sad, though. That's very
No,
happy.
that's not sad. That's going to be fun. And Lindsay's going to be here with Jen Bleacher, and Sister Scaleback is going to be the guest. And that's what we got going on the next couple weeks.
Woo-hoo! And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Yes, do those things because we need 10,000 subscribers to go to YouTube Space LA, even though I have connections there. So anyway.
I will
All right. See you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Jen. We love